There's a lot going on in the transfer market. Unfortunately, it's not to do with Manchester United. It's to do with anyone but Manchester United. Whether it's Arsenal getting closer to Victor Gyökeres, whether it's Newcastle getting closer to Hugo Ekitike this evening, whether it's Real Madrid signing our former players in Alvaro Fernandez, getting a little bit of money for that. Manchester United are. But in terms of Manchester United news, kind of silent-ish again. Whilst others are announcing signings of players on social media, we're showing players arriving at Carrington again for pre-season. There was genuinely a video, I'm not even joking, guys, of someone like mowing the grass today that they put up, which was unbelievable. So yeah, I mean, according to the latest news when it comes to Bryan Mbeumo, this week, whatever that means, we're in active talks. Maybe a third bid will go in. He still wants to join Manchester United. There's optimism we can get it done before the end of the week or by, the USA tour. Of course, we're back in action on Saturday in Sweden. There's also a bit of a rumor that, according to Fabrizio Romano, we've been offered Dusan Vlahovic from Juventus, but Man United aren't even focused on that at the moment. They're focused on Bryan Mbeumo, and I'm not advancing on this deal for Vlahovic yet. Marcel, I'll start with you. Before we started, you came in. You're usually positive, optimistic, and you said, "I'm really sad, guys." You said, "I'm really sad. What's happening to our club?" How are you feeling?
I'm really hurt. Big up everyone. I hope everyone's good. Hello, chat. The whole Man United universe. Hello. We are in a dire situation. And I can't believe it. Like I generally thought a couple of weeks back, how long have we been talking about this Mbeumo signing? Like, how long have they been talking about negotiating? What is going on? And then even getting rid of players. Like I know I got to the desperate situation where I was like, at any price, and I still think that makes sense to me at this point. But we need. Have you seen the business that Chelsea have been doing? So they're going to get ahead of us. Liverpool are already ahead of us. They've made 5 or 6 signings. Arsenal, they're now beating us to the players that we wanted. Like, we're top 4 is like 2-3 years out of sight if we don't bring a fresh new set of players in to help Ruben. Otherwise, he's going to be gone, and then we're going to be back in that manager cycle of managers not getting the type of players that they need for their system again. It's like we're in mad sets of rabbit holes. It's crazy right now, and I'm just absolutely distraught now because this is taking too long. This is
Marcel. This is Marcel saying that. I don't know if I've ever heard him use the word distraught before, and he uses a lot of words, but never distraught when it comes to Manchester United.
It's the second week though, Owen, isn't it, guys? It's the second week of pre-season. They're even showing us that as well. They have the audacity to show us that it's the second week and we've only got 1 player in. Other clubs have got 5 and 6 in. The people that we're meant to be competing against or in and around anyway. So I'm looking for another difficult season now. Or I'm looking at another difficult season. Which of course I'll back the manager. I think we have to still back the manager, and he has to go through the pain just like us. But the Ineos are really letting us down here.
Dev, how are you feeling? You're a positive guy as well. Is there any positivity to be found out of what's happening or not happening at the moment?
I've not reached Marcel's level yet, but I hear why he's saying what he's saying. But I think we all knew this was going to happen. I think the people who thought that somehow United losing the Europa League final was a blessing in disguise, I think they're actually understanding what the hell that day meant and what it was going to lead to, because the financial windfall of winning that tournament would have given us a few more signings, and unfortunately it hasn't. But we have to play with the cards that we're dealt. I'm still happy with the two new faces that are through the door. I am happy with those faces, but we said last week it was all about outgoings as well as incomings. And the fact that that's not really moved the needle is really irritating. And the Mbeumo news, the more I think about it, the more I've reread and seen that stupid announcement that we all jumped on from Ornstein at the beginning, and really all he said was he's given us priority and we were going to start negotiations. Like, Cunha took a while to get going before we actually signed him, and he introduced us all right to the beginning of the Mbeumo saga, which hasn't even become a saga. It's not become anything. Mbeumo is being a professional. Apparently he was at the Brentford training ground today, still getting his yards in, whatever, not forcing through moves like some of the others around Europe. And I'm looking at moves being made with other clubs. I'm jealous of some, Like I look at Arsenal, like you talk about Arsenal, Gyökeres all you like, but we would have wasted because we don't have the midfield to source him. But I'm looking at when they buy the likes of Christian Mosquera for like what 20 million euros, 15 guaranteed, and that got done really quickly. Like those are the types of deals I'm looking at, thinking anyone could do that. We could have done that. Like that's a good player. Richard Rios is on his way to Inter. Why? Why is he on his way there and not on his way to us? So I think I look at those types of deals and I'm a bit upset. But realistically, like we all know, in the next few days, so much can change. And if we do get Mbeumo done within the next few days, just before preseason, we're all on the dopamine rush again because we've got two big names coming in. So I have to judge it before, like, and when I see the plane that goes to the US, that's when I said before that, like, if that plane isn't filled with a few new faces, a few academy grads, and all those toxic ones are out, or at least off that plane, then I'll be upset. So I have to judge it until then.
This transfer window will humble you. Big up, Paul. Big up, Keegan. Mr. the Comedian.
What's up?
Welcome. I don't actually know where you stand recently. You've been shockingly, flip-flopping a little bit of some day you feel positive, some day you are distraught, screaming. Some days it's a blank slate. Then it becomes
stages of grief, really.
Conditional
you
blank
got to call
slate.
it the stages of grief, And
how are you feeling at the moment? Heart to heart.
I would say I'm in the acceptance. I'm in acceptance, and probably trying to decide. Well, what is it going to take for Amorim to get a tune out of like what he has?
Now, have you seen the Ekitike news, by the way? Have you seen that news?
Oh, what is he getting to Newcastle? Something stupid.
Yeah.
Looks like who cares? This is what I'm saying. It's like,
that's my guy. I like that.
Go to that stage where nothing surprising anymore with this Manchester United side. We always go back to it and talk about finishing 15th and being where we are. We're not involved in. It doesn't feel like we're involved in the transfer market, and the club posting the picture of is just like, do you see the picture they posted recently? It's Onana and Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah. I was saying that there's the video of someone cutting the grass at Carrington. I couldn't believe it.
I feel like it's just somebody's taking the piss in it. They must know either what's going on.
They are completely different people, but it is crazy.
This is ridiculous. Like, surely those two players, like, it's like the worst of us at the front and the back.
It's too on the nose, isn't it? It's too on the nose. You know what I mean? It's not subtle.
Either our account's been taken over by a Liverpool fan and he's just doing banter, or what's going on? You're only left with questions of like, why have you not done this today? No one will want to see this. Like, maybe they're getting tired of just keep showing us pictures of Cunha. I'm just kind of hoping that there'll be a player on the plane. I've resigned to knowing that we're not playing anyone against Leeds. You won't see a new signing in that Leeds game. I've resigned to that feeling already. But it's like, how far and how bad could this go? That's the real question of how late are we going to be?
I mean, are we gonna get anything this week, do you think? Or are we just going to be waiting until tour? Or is everyone now in the dark about what's going on?
I mean, I think this is the week where things pretty much have to happen. I said it. I put it on Sunday in that same thing. I said it's kind of for me where I've reached not the end of my rope, but where the rope starts to fray, and I look at it and say, if something doesn't happen this week, then it is a serious problem. At this point in time, if you don't have a significant signing in the door, and one. And as well a sale and things moving towards the outs, then I start to say, it's all been kind of pointless. I can understand very much there's no real reason to rush signing Mbeumo in June or early July, but he's back, right? He's back. He's here. Mm-hmm. You've done this deal for this long. He's in training today. You're going on tour in 8 days. You're flying to the US, something like that, 8 or 9 days. You're playing your first game on Saturday. There's a point where the financial gain you might be making from haggling stops making sense. And you have to say, if we can't get a deal done this week, today, tomorrow, by Wednesday, I think at the latest, you have to be ready to turn and sign somebody else in a heartbeat, a striker, get somebody else in the door immediately, because you can't keep doing this any further. There's no benefit being gained here. There's nothing happening, that there's nothing we're getting out of this anymore, out of the time that it's taking. There's no possible benefit to it. It is only negative from today, each day moving forward. We're just losing, not gaining anything. I think it's worth a little bit of extra money to have more training time. I think it's worth a little bit more pay to give Amorim what he needs in the preseason.